that stat sheet in front of you.
Pronounce it Jalea?
Jalea.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm always like that. I'm always
Okay, we are ready to get started. Welcome back to our press conference this evening. Congratulations to the Southern Jaguars, winners of tonight's game versus Samford. They will advance to play the #1 seed South Carolina on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock here at Colonial Life Arena on ABC Sports. A reminder to silence your cell phones and no flash photography is permitted during the press conferences. The locker rooms are open for 30 minutes following the end of the cooling off period after the game. The cooling off period for Southern is 10 minutes. For Southern, we have Coach Carlos Funches and players Jalea Reed and Demaya Porter. Our format calls for opening remarks for Coach Funches, followed by questions for the student athletes. Once questions are completed for the student athletes, they will be dismissed back to the locker room, and we'll proceed with questions for the head coach. A reminder, when Josh is our mic holder, he'll get the microphone to you for questions. And a reminder to state your name and affiliation before asking your questions. Coach, just a brief opening statement about your victory tonight.
Well, I thought the young ladies came out and played extremely hard. I thought we were a little antsy at the beginning of the game and did some things that was uncharacteristic of our team, but we settled down. I thought in that second quarter we did a solid job of getting some good shots. I see we scored 16 points, but we took good shots. You know, I thought the first half, again, we were a little jittery, but we straightened it out and did a great job, especially defensively and on the boards as well. I knew it was going to be a battle. They do a lot of ball screen motion stuff, a lot of handoffs and things like that, and they have some great shooters. Hats off to them for being a great team.
Okay, questions for our student athletes now. If you raise your hand for a question.
I'm Grant Turner with USA Today. This can be for either Porter or Reed. How important was it scoring 14 points off turnovers? And that was a big factor, and you guys forced several turnovers as well.
Okay. We knew that they weren't really used to the ball pressure that we played with, so we knew that we had to take advantage of them not being used to the game that we play. And we know that if we turn over the ball, we have to always advance off of that and take advantage and, try to do our best to win.
Josh, I think we have a question.
Don't be nervous. Just talk.
Lou Bajak from the state newspaper here in Columbia. Ladies, what was the key in that fourth quarter, that run? You guys, they were hitting a bunch of threes, and what was the key in that fourth quarter defensively for you to slow them down?
I think just being aggressive on defense and making them uncomfortable. We know they can shoot pretty well, so we just had to run them off the three-point line, make them do something that they're not really used to, and that's really putting the ball on the floor. And we know defense is our motto. So.
Yep.
Okay, I think we have a question on the Zoom. Rob Knox.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Rob, can you hear us?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hi, ladies. This is Rob Knox of the Nine Basketball. Congratulations on the win tonight. Jalea, this is for you. Obviously, when you came to Southern, you had a reputation for, shooting the ball. You're absolutely outstanding shooter. How challenging, or if it was challenging at all, to buy into the defensive concept of Southern basketball, just fit in with the program?
I say it took me a little minute, but I knew coming over here what the standard was. I played against them, so I kind of knew what it was like because they did it to me all for 2 years, so I knew how I felt. And I wanted to be a part of something and be a piece to a puzzle. So.
And then second question for Demaya, you outscored them 14-2 down the stretch. For you all, obviously you've all been in a lot of close games this year. When it was 51-51, what was the conversation like? Was it just keep playing, or just we know we would find a way, our defense would eventually find the key to win?
The conversation to always keep playing hard. You know, don't let the score be a factor of how you play. Don't be nervous. Don't be anxious. You know what I'm saying? You just always have to go out there and play with your whole heart. Play great. Don't think about what ifs, what's going to happen next. Think about what's in the present and what you can do to affect the future.
Any other questions in the room?
So you guys scored 34 points in the paint. That looked like it was key to your win today. Can you share more on how successful that was and how you're going to use that against South Carolina to also be successful in the paint?
Well, I don't know how we're going to use it against South Carolina, but we wanted to drive the basketball and try to get some easy buckets. I thought Michaela Cunningham did a great job, especially down the stretch, driving, drawing, and dishing. She dropped a couple of passes off to Demaya. I mean, that kind of broke the game open. And then defensively, if you apply that kind of pressure all night, it's going to affect you, even if you're a shooter. And like they have knockdown shooters, but the ball pressure, just wearing them down, I thought really, really took effect late in the game.
Any other questions for our student athletes?
Just your thoughts on facing South Carolina and the program, and you guys played a lot of Power 4 teams this year, but getting a chance to face them here in the tournament.
I think it'll be a great experience for us. Of course, we know South Carolina, you know, who they are. We all are fans of them, actually. But we know that we're going to come out here and play our best, and we're going to represent who we are.
Yeah, I'm excited for the opportunity, you know, the chance to get to play with some good competition and in front of a lot of people. So, yeah, I'm just ready for that.
Okay, we'll dismiss our student athletes back to the locker room, and we'll begin to take questions for Coach Funches.
Thank
Ladies,
you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Go Jags.
Congratulations.
Good job. Good job, ladies.
Questions for Coach Funches? Coach, if you can talk about the way the defense stepped up tonight.
Well, that was going to be a big key to us having victory tonight, just ball pressure. You know, just wearing the shooters down. I mean, they do a tremendous job of running the offense, and they're hard to guard. And, again, they have some knockdown shooters. I mean, the leading three-point maker in the country. I mean, you don't play against players like that often, but we did a really good job of switching out defenders on her and making it tough. I think she ended up with like 16 points or so, but that was a tough 16. So hopefully, you know, she'll be tired tonight.
We had a question from, go ahead, Lou.
Just, Coach, what does this mean for the program? 2 straight years winning an NCAA tournament game, and just your thoughts on that, and then also facing South Carolina on Saturday.
Well, I mean, it's tremendous, not just for our program, but for our conference. We have some really good basketball players in our conference and some really good coaches. You know, our league is tough. We went on the road this year and won a couple of Power 4 games. I mean, we beat Arizona, we beat University of Houston, and then we entered our conference season, and we went 12-6. So that just shows you the talent that's in our league. And if you're not playing at your best each and every night, anybody's capable of beating you. Now, when it comes to South Carolina, you know, of course, we just got to go out and compete and play our game and try to do the best that we can. But I'm so proud of these young ladies to make it to this point. You know, we had to overcome a lot of adversity, but, you know, I love my kids. And they came out and they're going to give you 100% every night, regardless if it's good or bad.
Hey, Coach, during the game, I noticed that your assistant coach, Jeremy Bonin,
Yes.
and please forgive me if I butcher his last name, but he was very vocal to the girls during the game, you know, a very vocal guy for you. Can you share with me how key he is to get them excited, get them going, and just key to distribute the plays and what you guys need to get?
He's a big key. He's my defensive coordinator. Of course, we sit down and look at what we're going to do, but he comes up with that defensive game plan. And, you know, we try to take away other teams' strengths and try to make them play to their weaknesses and things like that. But he's one of the best in the country, no doubt about it. He's passionate about what he does, and the girls know it as well.
Have a question on the Zoom from Rob Knox.
Hey, Carlos, how you doing?
How you doing, Rob?
I'm good, man. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir.
Obviously, I just want to follow up on Jalea. Uh, obviously, she had obviously a great offensive game tonight. But for your program, you got to play defense. So, what was that? What was that challenge like for her coming in and becoming more defensive minded for you?
Well, I always knew that she was quick enough to be able to push up and guard the basketball. And as the year went on, she knew that's what she had to do, really, to get a lot of playing time, a lot more playing time. And she did that. She turned out to be one of our best defenders, without a doubt. But, I mean, she's just selfless. Some games she only took one or two shots some games. Some games she would score at 16 or 17 points. So whatever it took to win, that's what she was willing to do. And thank goodness we have her.
And then just to follow up, I mean, obviously with the shot they did tonight, it's not a surprise to you. But how important was it for you to see her set that tone early with those early steals in the first few minutes of the game?
I mean, she's going to come out. She's tough as nails. She's guarded some of the best players in the country. And it's a challenge to her. She's our defensive stopper now. She might not take a shot in some game, but she's going to push up and she's going to guard and she's going to disrupt. I mean, she's really physical. The only thing I was worried about with her was were the officials going to let her play physical. And they let us bump them a little bit and things like that, and that was to our advantage. And she did a remarkable job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Hey, Coach, I noticed also here on the stat sheet your bench scored 20 points tonight. Can you expand on that and how key that was to your success?
Well, we always have a strong bench. As a matter of fact, the last, I think, 2 games, our bench outscored our starters. So we're a little bit better offensively when we go to the bench. Not as strong defensively, but that's not unexpected.
Any more questions for Coach Funches? Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you all.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. A reminder that Coach Funches and Southern players will be available here at 2:05 to 2:40 as part of our press conference schedule tomorrow.